Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome, my friends, to today's episode of Top Deck, where we are covering a #1 mono black Auras deck. So many of you ask me about this. I always get questions about it on the tier list. Happy to be circling back to this here at the beginning of our April season, because it did hit #1, my friends. So congratulations to Polan 27 on hitting the coveted #1 spot with this deck. It is primarily a best of one deck. I did go ahead and throw in some sideboard cards for you here. We'll talk about it in our best of 3 part of today's episode. But for now, I appreciate you tuning in, my friends. If you do have questions or comments throughout the video, please feel free to let me know down below. And also in the description, we do have the Discord server, so you guys can hop in there as well. Now, quickly, while you're in the description, feel free to navigate to the timestamps where we are going to talk about the main board here. And then we'll cover off on the sideboard for best of 3. And then we'll go into our best of 1 and best of 3 competitive matches for the day. And then we'll close out here in its totality where this may sit in the meta and so forth, my friends. So without further ado, we are going to hop right into pun there a little bit for the weekend, but anyway, hop right into it. When it comes to our main board here for our strategy objective of this deck, it's got a great low curve. It's an Auras deck, so really what you're doing is you're using Hateful Eidolon. You also got Archfiend's Vessel here, and reoccurring a lot of things from your graveyard, either with stuff like Malakir Rebirth here, or with our Lurrus. The other thing you could consider throwing in here, we also got Call the Death Dweller, is Agadeems. Could be something for you to pull back on as well. But the idea is to really tie things up with things like Deadweight, also Mire's Grasp, and then make things reoccurring. You also have Demonic Embrace to go over the top as well. And we also got Time Array Calls the Dead to kind of fuel that graveyard. And then at the top end, we got the good old Rankle Master of Pranks here. So this guy's got Flying and Haste, and we got 3 different options that are just brutal at times. So we got ways to lock our opponents out of cards, as well as do other things and tidy up the board state, my friends. But again, at its heart, it is a Auras deck. Don't forget with Hateful Eidolon, if you do have Auras attached to your own guys and they die, you will get that trigger as well, which is a big one. So the pickup here from Kaldheim is going to be Village Rites. We also have the Faceless Haven here, making this a snow deck. And then obviously we got the Castle Lock when they're at the top end, my friends. So that is the main board. That is the strategy and objective of this one here for the black mono black Auras. Again, it's pretty speedy, going to work really well against creature based decks. A little bit more navigation and piloting against some other ones, more of those late game decks. Again, don't forget to hit your own creatures, get some of those draw spells, because that's going to be crucial for you. And then locking out your opponents, particularly the ones in the late game, with discards here with these guys. So again, if you got questions or comments, let me know down below. Now we're going to bump over to our best of 3 sideboard, and we'll break it down for you in terms of aggro, mid-range, and late game. So we got several things here in terms of the meta, which are pretty important. First off, I will throw out the rogue stuff because we know that's coming back. Your big piece here is going to be Skyclave Shade. Additionally, Time Array, Chosen from Death, and then you may want to throw in Erebos's Interventions. But on top of that, when we do talk about aggro decks, and for cycling decks, you'll do the same, except for Skyclave. And then for aggro decks, these are going to be things like Mono Red, Mono White, Boros, Naya, those things. We did the Boros Knights deck yesterday as well that you guys can check out. Here, this is pretty well balanced against those. The only considerations that you may want to make is the reach with Murderous Rider at times. That can be a big one. Also, Dragger Necromancer, which I like at the top end. What this guy does is if we kill a non-token creature an opponent controls, we can exile that card with an ice counter, and then we may cast spells from among cards in our exile our opponent's own with ice counters on them, and we may spend mana from snow sources as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So here we go. Very, very powerful. So everyone, don't forget that. It's a nice little niche piece for this deck that I wanted to throw in there because I think it can be very, very powerful, and a lot of people miss it. Additionally, at a 4-drop, it's good at a top end, and on top of that, it works well against some of the aggro decks, and I loved playing this in draft. So with that, that's the aggro lineup. Then we'll move over to the mid-range. So Gruul Aggro is a big one in that space. Gruul Adventures. We also have the Gruul Food. We also have the traditional mono green food deck, the Rakdos sack, Jund sack, Grixis sack that I've seen as well. And then we got plenty of other things in that space, the traditional Rakdos mid-range, and a few others like Izzet Tempo and things like that. Here's similar style for those aggro decks. Now, when you do get outside that, we begin to think about if they are playing from the graveyard. Again, similar style with some of those things like we talked about. If they have direct kill spells, now Skyclave Shade is a good one to put in because you can pull this one back from your graveyard, particularly if they don't have a lot of creatures. The other things that you can think about is Murderous Rider, but then again, Necromentia is going to be the big one here that you're going to think about starting to pull in. So here we can choose a card name other than a basic land card, search our opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of those cards with that name, and exile them. So very powerful here, and it's really going to help you pick things apart. So in terms of picking things apart, those key decks that we do want to pick apart are going to be the ones as we move into late game. So these are going to be the ultimatum decks like Team Returns. Also, so there's great one hit Elrunes. Additionally, Ultimatum, Sultai Ultimatum, hit the ultimatums. Boom, those decks are really, really going to get ripped apart there for a low curve cost on our side. So keep those things in mind. Then additionally, you might run into Doom decks, rip out Doom Foretold. We also got the lovely Fable decks. You can rip out Fabled, and the Azorius late game decks, and also other control type decks. So very important there to remember those. You can hit Ugins and whatnot with that as well. So that's really how you're going to break out the aggro, mid-range, and late game decks. In the late game stuff, you're going to look to move out the Deadweight and the Mire's Grasp, potentially keeping those just to hit your own Hateful Eidolons if you need to, and kind of rinse and repeat. The other one that you could always add in here is Mogus's Favor. So that was a consideration that I had as well, because you can cast that on Hateful Eidolon again. Like I said, when it dies, then you get those draws, and you're swinging for 3 life, kind of a thing there as well. So Planeswalkers, like I said, we talked about the strategy objective of this deck in terms of mono black auras really kind of being pretty quick, but also on the offensive against creatures, so kind of mid-rangey as well. And then also we talked about the sideboard for our best of 3 against the aggro, mid-range, and late game. So let's go ahead now, and we're going to hop one last time into some competitive Magic here today. So very excited about that, and let's jump into our standard ranked. Yesterday we did the Boros Knights one. Today we're doing the #1 mono black auras deck again by Poland 27. Congratulations, and plenty of other decks you guys can absolutely go check out. So let's get moving here. Again, as always, if you happen to have questions or comments, please let me know. Happy to help, like I said, in the comments or in the Discord server, my friends. All right, let's see what we got. So could be quick. We don't know. We can hang on to these for now. It's going to be a big test. We do have Faceless Haven here, which is also one of the reasons why I kept it. We'll take everything off as fast as we can. The real goal is going to be getting Lurrus down. And hopefully we can do that without getting countered. If we can get him on the board without getting countered, that will be good. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we'll try. We'll throw this guy in there. We'll see if they counter that. There it is. I will hang on to that. If we can keep Luris, that's going to be a big one. We'll see. They did counter with the Lofty. So I imagine they have a counter. If they don't, we're going to be in good shape. We'll put that on anyway. We have in here, that's one. We have our one flyer, don't we? We have another dead weight though. All right. So I want to look first. So they might not have it, obviously, but we'll find out. All right, so do we hit their board? This is going to be a big one. So 9 on the stack. Let's do this. Now, if they top deck something like, wow, look at that. What a top deck. What a top deck for our friend here. Ah, that is magic, my friends. Always having an answer to something. Watch him hit the ninja guy. It's not what they got, but there we go. All right, depending on what they do here, we may or may not have lethal. So we'll see what they play. Boom. Yes. Very, very nice for us to come back against that. Oof. Love it. Very aggressive too. All right, on to our next best of one here with our mono black auras deck, my friend. Oof. Very, very nice. Easy MK it is. We are not going first. We don't have low ends. We do have double arrows. I'm going to try it. It's a little slow. Going to be slow against this for sure. So we just got to be careful here. Here we go. At least play something. Just got to play something. That's the key. So here's where you can lock things out too. The one that I thought about sideboarding as well would have been Liliana in the 4-drops space as well. So that's one that you could consider. Oh, very helpful for us. Very, very helpful for us. Trigger. Dang it. Not a trigger. We'll get one of those guys off first. I'm actually going to trade. Boom. We were coming back. Love it. On to our next match here, my friends. Looking sweet. Looking sweet. Ooh, what did we get? All right. Third and final best of one match. Not bad. Rogues, mono red. Let's see what we got here. Working out well. Working out well. Poke Puncher it is. Ooh. I might mulligan this one. There we go. I think, what do we get rid of? Maybe we go Myers. No, we don't want the 2 on there. Guy's good too, but we'll play 1 into 2. We'll see. I want to keep the 1 Luris. All right. We picked one up anyway. Good. Hopefully we pick up a land. That's what we need. We need a land. We'll see if they make the sacrifice mistake. Nope. All right, we're good. Whew, just need the land. I think this is a Winota deck, maybe. We'll see. Savior hits Winota. That's okay. Oh, let's do this first. Could have done Archfiend to see both, but we're just getting robbed on the lands right now. So probably Winota, huh? It's this one here if they play it. Okay, we can live with that. That's okay. Again, just need to really hit that land. There we go. There it is. There's the Winota. The top deck Winota. Ooh. So we'll double block here. I don't think we have enough to come back, sadly. I have a dead weight. Ooh. 5. Can't block any of that stuff, huh? Even if we would have blocked the 3, we would have been at 0. Oh, bummer. We could have blocked Linden though, but we were done. Not bad though for best of 1. 2-1. So very, very happy with that result. We did get kind of screwed on some of the stuff there in the third match, but that's okay. So let's rip this deck now and go play in our best of 3. So again, Boros Knights here. We're playing the mono black auras deck, number 1, again by Poland 27. All right, so let's see what we can do. So like I said, something for best of 3. No plan that you could throw in there would be Liliana, the 4-drop on the top end too, for some of that additional discard. Could be powerful for you. Obviously, we did see the rogues play with some of the nightshades if you needed to, but we didn't. We beat it just fine without it. So I will keep this because we got ones, twos. We got some draws with village rights. Just need to get some lands. Let's get some draw engines going, my friends, hopefully. We'll see. Double Luris, we need that land. We can live with that. The land drop's gonna hurt. Let's do it for now and see. I could have played dead weights, but if we can get through one turn, I'm okay with it. Gives us a few options. Yeah, there's the Skyclave, so we're okay there. We'll see if we can do this again. Probably could have played Luris and then hit it, but that's fine. All right, there's the second one. No, they didn't want to do that, huh? There we go. So that gets rid of Faceless Haven. We can bring some stuff back if we need to. Ah. Bummer. Bummer, 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 bummer. That's unfortunate. So Necromentia is not going to help us here. We may want to throw in our buddy at the top end, and potentially the Murderous Riders. And what do we want to pull out? It's pretty solid though, nonetheless. It's pretty solid. We just did not hit right. I don't need Mire Triton. This is okay. Still misses a lot in that deck. That's still gonna miss a lot too, so let's do that. We'll see how that goes. We could have threw in Necromentia to get all the Skyclave Apparitions out though, so that could have been one move. Could also do it to get the Conclaves out, the 2/2 first strike as well. Equipment would have been an idea. So I think it hits the artifacts. I'd have to go back and read it. All right, we'll see how this goes. No plan. Now this actually should be a good matchup for this deck. We just did not hit right. We'll play first. This is okay. We'll get to see this guy in action, hopefully. All right, so we didn't hit our land, so we'll deadweight this guy. And we'll get some damage in. No land again. Now, those things would be awesome to hit with Dragger Necromancer, but we're not hitting any lands. The lands are killing us again. Oh my gosh, look at that. So I did that so we can play our Acquisition Expert. Now that they're protected by L-Seed, we could have a problem. Oh. Brutal, 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 brutal. There we go, this guy's gone. Oh, come on. We really need that land. Oh, so brutal. So brutal. There we go. Push my token back. This will be close. Oh. Let's do this first. They can make the faceless. It's not going to make a difference, though. We have 2 there. What else is in there? Get our Myers Grasp going. I do want to show you guys this card, even if it might cost me the game. I don't think it will, but actually I don't think we're going to have time for it, though, to be honest. So we'll grab Luris. Boom. Yeah, didn't matter. Did not matter. So we're still in it. I like what we got going on. So again, Necromentia here, other than a basic land card to pull whatever we want out. So Skyclave's Apparition, like I said, is a big one there. I think this is okay still for us, so we'll stick with it. We did have a chance at seeing that guy, though. I was pretty excited about it. We got a 1 and a 1, so I'm okay with this. So we can go Hateful Eidolon. It's really bad on the lands. Really bad on the lands, but we'll try it. I might even go Snow Covered first into Archfiend, depending on what we get here. Yeah, let's do that. Now, this will hit the lands, too. So that's the other reason why I pulled the Murderous Rider in. That's what we needed. We'll actually take this guy out first. And I'm doing that because I still have Mire's Grasp, so that's why I did that. All right, give us one land. Oh, but we can do this. So that works. So that will give him double strike. Let's do this. Look at both cards here. And we'll get rid of that one. If we don't get a land, we're dead. So I need a land to use Rankle to sack a creature here. Ooh, we're not dead yet. So I will be dead though if they clear that guy. And we'll lose because we got rid of a snowland, which is painful. Uh-oh. Can't hit that. But he can hit the flyer. Oh, what bad luck. Such bad luck on the lands for this deck. I'd probably running too light. I don't know. We just didn't run well on it. But that was a good matchup. Fun match. Maybe could have played something a little bit differently to kind of flip that around, but just did not pull through, which is too bad. So let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Again, that was the #1 mono black Auras deck, certainly better in best of one. I tried making some changes there for best of three. Certainly you could do some more things. 22 lands, though, is pretty strong, but we just did not hit well in terms of the land drops today. So it happens. I think this deck is certainly better than the deck that we played in best of three. We just did not align well, which is too bad, and that's the way it goes. So in terms of best of one today, we went 2-1, very, very strong matches. Best of three, we went 1-2. Again, good matches. Certainly once this deck kind of hits critical capacity, it's pretty hard to shut down, as we saw. Again, some things that you could certainly change around here, these two and kind of the main board. Other things here you could look to move out like we talked about. I like Necromancy on the top end, but certainly could tighten some of the other things as we discussed. Murderous Rider was really helpful. You could add in some direct kill spells even. You could also throw in some duresses, so that's something else that I didn't throw in there, or other cards just to pull stuff out of your opponent's hand that could really make a difference there, Planeswalkers. And this actually held up good against rogues, so you might not even need the Skyclaves like we had in here anyway. So with that, where does it sit in our Magic world today in terms of kind of best of one and best of three? So as we discussed, best of one, you know, the deck's becoming played quite a bit, so it's pretty important to keep an eye on it, in my opinion. Is it, you know, is it becoming more of both the meta and the win rates? Probably a little bit. The win rates, it's not necessarily in the top 5 like we've talked about, but it's starting to creep up in that space. Additionally, it is becoming a percentage of the meta, like we said in the last weekly meta. Master Mythras did in the last session there. You guys can check out on Friday. So you know, ultimately, where do I think this sits? I think it's a strong tier 2 deck, honestly. I still think there's better stuff in terms of best of one, but we'll keep an eye on it. I think it's certainly strong, and a lot of people like playing it. It's good against those aggro decks and creature based decks, but obviously you saw that we can still lose, and we did that against the mono white deck in the best of 3. So, and then in best of 3, it's not really played a ton. If anything, I would tell you, you know, again, this was my first quick shot here at the sideboard. Certainly could work on it. I think, you know, after playing, there were some things that I would have changed up in there. You know, like I said, with Liliana and those things for the discard and duress and some of those items, but we played a creature based deck. So in terms of that, it's probably more middle of the pack tier 2 and maybe lower, to be honest, just because of the nature of it. Now, does it have the opportunity to be good? Absolutely. So we'll, like I said, keep an eye on this. I know it's seasons coming to a close here, or at least Kaldheim is, and we got Strixhaven. Everyone's looking forward to that, but certainly a deck that you guys can play here in the next couple of weeks to hit Mythic before any of that. And obviously, number one, mono Black Auras by Poland27 did it, so you guys can certainly do it too. And this is the deck. So Planeswalkers, questions or comments, let me know down below. Hop in the Discord server. Like I said, great ways to support the channel. And the details, always appreciate the patrons as well as the YouTube members. So thank you guys, particularly Elfie and Crippled Snowman, for their support always. And then if you do have things that you need, like I said, hop in that Discord server, flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video, and stay safe, Planeswalkers, really, and stay in touch. So we got a lot of things coming your way: top decks, tier lists, meta, doing some more historic here as well, because I did make it into the Mythic qualifier for the season. So we'll see you again soon. I hope you guys enjoyed today's deck. Glad we could circle back on mono black auras because it's been a while. So stay safe, and we'll see you again soon. Mythras out.